Watching news at Prime. Let's get into this discussion now. There's been mixed reaction to the Democratic Alliance's decision to withdraw from the national dialogue following the axing of former Deputy Trade Minister Andrew Whitfield for unauthorized travel to the United States. The DA Federal Council chairperson Helen Zille claiming the process would be a sham and hollow exercise without her party. Let's discuss this now with FW de Klerk Foundation's Constitutional Advancement Program Manager, Ismail Joosub. Ismail, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. Let's start with why the national dialogue is a necessary exercise for the country to go through for the foundation that you speak on behalf of.
Thank you very much, Golly. The FW de Klerk Foundation didn't merely join the national dialogue. Indeed, we were one of the co-founding legacy foundations that heeded the call for a national dialogue. And Golly, why? Because the national dialogue is something that the FW de Klerk Foundation believes in. We believe in reconciliation. We believe in mending the social divisions that dog us to this day. And we believe in being apart, being inside the tent, working towards a more constructive future. Now, the national dialogue, I know, has gotten a lot of flack as being just another talk shop. I can assure you it's not just another talk shop for the following reasons. One, South Africans have always turned to dialogue. When the time had arisen for a freedom charter, South Africans dialogued. When the time had arisen for CODESA to give birth to a new constitution, South Africans had dialogued. This is the legacy as well of the FW de Klerk Foundation. But we believe in meaningful, tangible change, even at a policy level. Now, we at the National Dialogue have been in talks with organs of state to bring about some form of binding national social compact and 30-year plan of action, either through an act of parliament or otherwise, but to see South Africa a better place 30 years from today than it was in the last 30 years. It is absolutely vital and necessary for the continuance of our democracy.
Let's understand then why you're disappointed with the Democratic Alliance's stance.
Well, we are disappointed with the Democratic Alliance for a number of reasons. I think the first reason is this. The FW de Klerk Foundation simply cannot understand the link between the axing of a deputy minister and the pulling out of a nationally significant moment like the national dialogue. We don't get that. Secondly, we believe it's far better for any political party, perhaps the DA, to be inside the tent, as I said, playing a constructive role, making sure that the narrative is not dominated by any one political party. Now, the other thing about this, Golly, is we are disappointed in the DA by using the national dialogue as a political football. I want to be clear. The national dialogue is not a government-led initiative. It is inherently a people-led, citizen-led process. For the DA to have a squabble with the president of a party and then pull out of the national dialogue is simply regrettable.
The Democratic Alliance says, apart from it, this is their description of the national dialogue, that it will be a sham and hollow exercise without the DA. Add to that what some of its leaders have said, and that is that the national dialogue will simply be, in fact, they say it would be a political ploy for the ANC to garner votes anyway. I want to come back to part of what you said, and that the link between the firing of the deputy minister and them pulling away from the national dialogue. Does that make sense for you? And I'm saying this, or I'm asking this question on the basis that had there not been this firing, it means then that the Democratic Alliance would have participated in this, even if they don't necessarily believe in it. Do you get my question?
I believe that the Democratic Alliance, at least at one stage, believed in the necessity of a national dialogue. It's why a national dialogue is there imprinted in the statement of intent. It's why the national dialogue is not a novel idea to cabinet. It's been discussed in cabinet as well. So I am not going to delve into party politics to say that the Democratic Alliance is for or against a national dialogue. I think the evidence is in front of us. The axing of a deputy minister and the DA pulling out of the national dialogue to the FW de Klerk Foundation simply doesn't make any sense. I want to also say this, is that the national dialogue is a golden opportunity for the DA to set the record straight, to teach best practices in terms of good governance at a local community level, at a provincial, at a national level. For them to pull away from this is simply doing themselves and their voters a disservice.
Ismail Joosub, let me thank you very much for your time. The representative of the FW de Klerk Foundation, the exact designation is Program Manager for the FW de Klerk Foundation Constitutional Advancement Program.